Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Russell with Renters Warehouse right here in Hampton Roads. Hey, this morning I was speaking with Todd Barton, who owns the Renters Warehouse down in Atlanta, and we were discussing some of the market trends we're seeing right now with investments. And 2020 has been a very interesting year, and there's a lot of folks who are interested in getting into real estate investing, have a little bit of money set aside, say $30,000 or $40,000, and don't know what to do with it. They may not want to be a landlord. They may not want to worry about taxes and insurance and maintenance. They still want to be invested in real estate. So I get a lot of those questions myself, a lot of them on Facebook, and I see a lot of different answers. A lot of them are pretty good. But here's an idea that you may not have thought about. And I'm not going to give you all the details on how to do it here, but it's just something to get you thinking. If you're interested in doing some things like this, anytime, reach out to renterswarehouse.com. Maybe even call Sean Campbell directly right here at Hampton Roads at 757-816-8160. He's our investment expert, and there's so many tips and tricks and ways that you can invest in real estate and generate yourself a pretty good return. Some of them involve full service property management. Of course, we offer that. This particular one doesn't require any management whatsoever. This is absolutely free money. And I'm just going to go over the concepts with you so you get an understanding of what you can do with numbers. So this person asked me, he said, "Hey, Russell, I've got $35,000. I'd like to invest in real estate. What can I do?" And we went through all the other options. Here's the one we decided was the best because this guy did not want to be a landlord. He did not want to own a house or own any of the liabilities that came with it. Didn't want to invest in a REIT, real estate investment trust. He didn't trust the stock market, did not want to invest in gold, did not want to invest in Bitcoin. So here's what we talked about. Change your mindset and go into a rundown community, right? And every city has some. There are communities that are kind of on the decline. They may have some dilapidated properties, maybe some areas that are being rehabilitated. But in those areas, whether you look at tax sales or just abandoned properties or foreclosures, you can find houses that are not very marketable and people don't really want to buy them. And I've done this myself several times. I know several people who have. Go in there, find the property. Don't worry about the condition of it and make an offer on it. Buy the house for $30,000 cash, right? When you buy the house for $30,000 cash, you understand that it's going to require repairs. It's going to require some work. Once you've been doing this a little bit, you'll understand that houses are just sticks and stones and wires and plumbing. They're not complicated. And you can absolutely fix it up if you want to. We're not talking about that here. There's a lot of people that do that, and that's not what you want to do. So we researched the neighborhood. It's a 3-bedroom house. It's basically a shoebox with a roof. But the rental market's pretty strong over there. Rehab, the property would rent for about $950 a month. Buy the house for $30,000 cash. Don't do anything, right? Don't inspect it. Don't paint it. Don't mow the grass. Don't do anything. Put a sign in the front yard that says handyman special, right? That's all you do. Handyman special. Start taking phone calls. Find someone who wants to come in and pay you a little bit of money for the opportunity to fix up this property and make them and their family a home. Okay, so you got $30,000 into it. The neighborhood, after repair value, the house is probably worth $100,000, $120,000, and the rent's probably $950. So you find this person who wants to fix it up as is, no questions asked, and you get a little bit of a down payment, $2,500, $3,000, or whatever you want. Put that in your pocket. You've made a little bit of return on your money already, right? So if you've put $30,000 into it and you get $3,000 back right away for not doing anything, it's not a bad return already. Then what you do is you go to your amortization table, and this is a whole different thing. I'm not showing it to you, but I do have it up on the other screen over here, so I'll look away. And you type in a nominal interest rate, right? You can charge 3%, you can charge 5%, you can charge 8%, you can charge 12%, you can charge 15 if you want. In Virginia specifically, there's no usury. Well, what you want to do is you want to create an opportunity for your buyer that they can create a nice place to live for themselves and their family using their own labor, their own expertise, and wind up with a property that's worth more than they bought it for, right? And they will pay less in their mortgage payment to you than they would rent, right? So you sell it to that person for, let's just say, $99,000, right? The after repair value is 120. You're giving it to them for 99. You've created value. The rent market for a 3-bedroom rehab is 950. So what you do is you put $99,000 into the loan calculator as your sales price. You put your interest rate, and for this particular case, we're going to do 8%, right? We'll pick 8%. That's not pretty good return on your money. And we'll calculate that out for 30 years. And the monthly payment for your buyer is $726.43. Yes, I know that does not include taxes. It doesn't include insurance, but that's not what we're doing here. We're creating cash flow. And I'm going to give you an example. If I go in and I simply change that 8% to 7% and recalculate it, if I recalculate that, the price now is calculating. And it's calculating. Here you go, $658. If you had a different deal, you could change that to 9%, right? And do the same thing. And I know this is kind of boring, but it shows you fun with numbers, how you can create a return on your money out of thin air. And that price is $796. What's interesting about this is you have to understand the time value of money. So you took $30,000 that was sitting in your bank earning 0 interest or maybe a quarter of a point interest, and now you're earning 9% or 8% interest on that. I'm going to change it back to 8 real quick to show you what that means over time, because that's a more appropriate interest rate, I think, for this deal. If you go over there now, the first thing you're going to notice on the amortization chart is how much interest you make per year versus how much principal return that you make per year. Okay. And if you were to sell at the end of this year in 2021, you would make $7,800 in interest, and you would also get back about $900 in principal. So $8,700 in year one. You've already got $3,000 of it back in your down payment, so you've got $12,000 of your $30,000 back in year one. If you go to year two, you're making an additional $7,800 in interest. Year three, $7,700 in interest. Year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9. In year 9, you get $7,000 in interest and about $1,600 in principal. But what's really interesting about amortization and what you created here, let's just say that your buyer decides that they've fixed it up, they've made it nice, and they sell it, and they want to sell it, and what you sold it to them for was $99. So it doesn't matter what they sell it for. Let's just say they sell it for $250. Good for them. There's nothing better than win-win-win in real estate. In December of 2029, which is only 9 years from now, they still owe you $88,000. Remember, you didn't loan them $88,000. You created this value simply by taking your $30,000 and creating an opportunity for someone else to succeed. So in addition to 9 years worth of $7,000 of interest, 7 times 9 is somewhere around $60,000 in interest you've earned. Plus you get $88,000 of your principal return. So you're over $150,000 now that you've put in your pocket by understanding how to create value with real estate without lifting one finger to swing a hammer, pay a contractor. Quite frankly, you don't even need to turn the utilities on. This is really not a seminar, but I just wanted to give you an idea in this crazy world that we live in and this area of real estate that we operate in. And the opportunity to create money, create wealth out of thin air is real. And if you want to learn more or you have any questions, reach out to Sean, renterswarehouse.com, 272-1616. Call him direct, 816-8160. But don't tell him I gave you your cell phone number. All right, guys, have a great day. Happy investing.